Welcome back, everybody. We got another video down here in the studio, and today we are talking about gear we will never go ultralight for.
I think it's important to caveat something, though, is that there's kind of industry standards among cottage vendors that stuff is, just over the years, technology's gotten better, stuff has naturally got lighter. So while the gear is like lighter, these things we're probably not going to specifically be gram weenies about, for example.
Yeah.
But I mean, like when you start talking about titanium and high quality down, like that's just kind of industry standard.
Yeah. And I think another thing to note out is Andy and I actually, compared to most people, we're actually pretty ultralight in our setups.
Yeah.
Compared to the average hiker, our setups are pretty ultralight. Mm-hmm. And I think that's worth noting, but we're kind of different in that there are things we will not compromise on. And we're not going to get, even though there are lighter options, we're not going to do it, and we're going to talk about why. The first thing, and this is going to be a blanket statement that covers a lot of items, but I really don't want to go through every single one, but the first thing we are never going ultralight for is any winter gear.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And that is, it's a big statement because there's a lot of stuff there, but from down jackets to sleeping pads to sleeping bags.
I think just carrying more stuff than normal.
Yes.
It might be ultralight gear, but when it comes to clothing, not really. We're just I'm not looking at the ounces of the clothing.
Yeah, and in the winter, part of that is, one, we like to be comfortable, but two, in the winter, we rarely do more than a 2-night, 3-day trip. So, weight isn't a huge factor, and then also that we play it pretty conservatively in the winter when it comes to warmth, and we want to be comfortable, and there's no point in going out there and just freezing your ass off and being miserable. Being comfortable in the winter means you're taking stuff that weighs more, and there's no compromises there. So in the winter, yeah, I'm not going to go through all our winter setup. We have videos on that, but we are rarely going anything ultralight in the winter. So first item.
I think the next kind of item genre, and this could vary trip by trip, but I would say cooking kits.
I had that on my list too.
Yeah, while we do have titanium stuff, again, that's kind of standard. We both carry a spare coffee mug on top of our pot.
Yeah.
We'll take our skillets. We'll take whatever gear is needed food wise to prepare food, and that kind of segues into another item too about this. I put this on the list because it does kind of make sense. Truthfully, we're not really that weight conscious when it comes to food. I don't care.
That is a great point. We've only been really weight conscious on food for when we did 7 days
big
in Colorado.
Long trips, yeah. But in general, when it comes to food, I don't care how much it weighs. We're bringing it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Literally the only time we've been conscious about our food weight was when we had to do 7 straight days without a resupply. And you have to be technical about how the food is packaged, what trash you're taking. But I mean, you've seen some of our videos. We're taking barbecue out there.
Yeah. I don't
Ribs
care. I don't care. I don't care about
skillets.
Food. It's consumable. The weight goes down over time.
That's a good point. So another thing that Andy and I, we use every trip, and there are certainly lighter options, but we refuse to do it, is we don't go really that ultralight on our water filter. They're lighter water filters. There's the BeFree, there's the micro.
I don't know if the BeFree is necessarily a lighter.
The filter is, for sure.
The filter by itself, but when you include the bags, I don't know if it is.
Certainly the micro's lighter. But that's one thing. There are light. I mean,
I'm not using the micro.
The lightest option would be to use chemical treatment.
No, the lightest option is to not treat your water.
That's true. That's true. The lightest option is to get Giardia. Yeah, that's true. We're not doing that. But yeah, we're tried and true with the Sawyer squeeze. And that is even a pretty light water filter, but there are lighter options, and we just don't care. The squeeze is worth it.
Yeah, the flow rate's really good. So this is another interesting one because there are certainly lighter options, and we actually get a lot of DMs about this too. Our hammocks that we've selected we've never selected them based on weight. And there are lightweight hammocks that a bunch of people have put out some really good content about
the monolight ones.
Yeah, getting their hammocks,
the trailheads ones.
Yeah, getting their hammocks as light as possible because that's one of hammock camping is heavier in general.
They have some really light hammocks now.
Right, they do. But I've never...
We've gone the other way on the hammocks.
No,
we have heavier hammocks now.
The Blackbirds, we had the Blackbirds, you had the...
Chameleons are pretty light.
Chameleons are okay, and not when you accessorize them like I
No.
do.
And then we got
The sidecars and the top
and then we have bridge hammocks now. They're even heavier.
So like
it's
when
funny.
it came to hammocks, like we've never like taken that into account. I complain about it on the Banyan, but truthfully, it's not that big of a deal.
So this is a great segue to my next thing that at least I never go ultralight on, and Andy and I always preach, invest in sleep.
Yeah.
And on my ground sleeping setup, like I have a pillow that weighs a pound. I have a pretty heavy sleeping pad. I take now a quilt that is made into a sleeping bag. So anything that has to do with sleeping and sleeping warm, I do not go ultralight on. There are lighter pads, there are lighter pillows, there are lighter quilts. I have a pretty heavy sleeping setup, and that really is just because I value getting a really good night's sleep, and having a bigger pillow, having a plusher pad, that helps. So that's something I used to have a lighter setup, sleeping setup, but now, I don't care.
No,
I got a big pillow.
I have sleeping gear on mine too. Yeah. I think the final thing I'll mention about gear, like we won't specifically seek out for ultralight purposes. I think that there's a bunch of clothing in that category, and I was thinking about like shoes specifically, like shoes and boots. We're just gonna buy whatever is the most comfortable.
Yeah. Some of them, sometimes it happens to be light though.
Yeah,
the ultras are pretty light.
Yeah, sometimes it happens to be light, sometimes it doesn't. It's just all about how well it works. And then certain pieces of clothing, like there's some crazy cool information out there, and I must say I go down the rabbit hole of like the lightest worn clothing for like that you can wear for certain environments. And like if you're concerned about that, and like the clothing that you have, like the carry weight of your clothing, you go down some pretty cool rabbit holes.
Yeah, you can.
We've always been like, this is a cool piece of clothing. Oh, it also happens to be pretty lightweight.
Yeah, we do have some very ultralight clothing, but you're right, we don't seek out clothing based on it being ultralight.
The Melanzana's pretty heavy.
They are light.
Yeah,
that's true.
Wear it all the time.
Good point.
We've got some other fleece layers. So just clothing, I think we're more about comfortability and how well it works. And if it happens to be lightweight, that's pretty sweet. If not, oh well.
I like how you do always use the word comfortability. You can just say comfort.
No, I like comfortability.
All right. The last item, and I almost started the show off with this, but the last item we will literally never go ultralight for, and there are certainly lighter options, is a camp chair.
Yeah, I figured you were going to say that.
Yeah, you got to say it. You could get a sit pad. You could just not use a chair. You could use your pack as a chair. You could get a lighter chair.
You get a stool.
You get a stool. I don't know if there's a lighter chair. I think we have the lightest chair.
Yeah, I don't know what technology is right now, but I think we do have the lightest chair option. We did seek out the lightest chair available.
Right, but it's like an oxymoron because ultralight camp chair. It's like an oxymoron.
Right.
And you could use a sit pad. That'd be a lighter option. But yeah, we us, we're sitting in that chair, and it just blesses my heart to see all the people now that, like, when we go backpacking with people and there are people that don't have a chair, it's like, it stands out because everyone has chairs now. Yeah. Bryce has a chair.
Yeah. It wasn't even a question if Bryce was going to bring his chair.
Yeah, I know. Hey, we converted him. So that's all I had. Do you have anything else?
Nope, that's it.
So that's just a fun little video. We have a lot of ultralight gear. We have some pretty ultralight setups, but there's definitely stuff we've learned over the years that like we're not skimping on. So that's gear we're never going ultralight for. Let us know what you're never going ultralight for. No compromises.
I bet it'll be like compass, map.
Okay, well, you let us know, and we will see everybody on the next one.